What's up, Locks Mob? I'm Christian Hardy here, back to give you guys our locks of the day, presented by locksdfs.com. We're going to give you guys one pitcher and three batters for DraftKings and for FanDuel. We'll probably start on FanDuel, but first I wanted to go through our website real quick, show you guys what you can get on locksdfs.com. We've got our lineups here. FanDuel, DraftKings, you take it over to the GPP lineups. We've got FanDuel and DraftKings there too. 3 of each every single night. Just click up in the store in the top right side, and you can get the all-access pass with everything, but you've also got week passes, month passes to try us out. You can send us a DM, and we'll let you guys try. We've got soccer with the World Cup coming up, so we've got everything there. If you guys have questions, we're on Twitter. We're more than happy to help you guys out and get you guys on the right track in DFS. With that said, let's get it started. We'll start with FanDuel today. We're going to go to the pitching. We got these two options at the top with Garrett Cole and Chris Sale. Our favorite of the two is Chris Sale if you're going to pay up here on DraftKings. But we are looking here at Garrett Richards, and we're going to lock him in. We can even go over to DraftKings and pick him out here on DraftKings, where he's even lower at 7.8K, which pretty much makes him a lock, especially on a two-pitcher site for us. But Richards, I mean, he just comes in with a very, very safe floor. I mean, ground ball rate up over 50% on the year. Hard contact sits around 30%. And so he's really looking at a good floor in general there. I think his K rate is up around 27% or something like that on the year as well. So, again, priced so far down, especially on DraftKings. I think he's at a pretty fair price here on FanDuel. But, Richards also, to add on to things, I mean, he's a slider pitcher. He's throwing around 50% sliders. And we all know how much the Blue Jays strike out against the slider. They really just can't handle it. Richards probably deserves to be chalk, especially on FanDuel. I'm not sure if he will be. We'll have to see what kind of ownerships he garners, but just something to keep an eye on as the slate goes on. But another guy, this isn't even a lock. This is really just a free space for us today. He's batting second for the Brewers. Their lineup just came out. A prospect, G-Man Choi, 2,300 on FanDuel with only first base eligibility. On DraftKings, he's got first base and outfield eligibility. I could have talked about him as a lock, but he's got quite a bit of power, and he's facing Matt Koch in Miller Park. So really a good play today, G-Man Choi, and I think he's going to be chalk across the industry. So consider him your free square for the day. I'm at 2,300 on FanDuel and what was it, 32 on DraftKings, 33 on DraftKings. So then we get into our first lock of the day, and that is a guy who just went yard yesterday, who's been absolutely crushing the ball. That's Matt Carpenter. He's got 7 doubles and a home run in his last 6 games. I mean, he is just mashing the ball right now. Cardinals facing another Royals gas can and Jason Hamill. I mean, pretty much all the Cardinals are in play again. You've got Tommy Pham, you've got Dexter Fowler, you've got Tyler O'Neill, Marcell Ozuna. We're gonna get to in a second. Jason Hamill, hard contact rate 44%. 51% to lefties, which is what Carpenter bats as. 464 WOBA, xWOBA to left-handed batters, and a 361 to right-handed batters. xFIP up over 561, and home run per 9 at 1.5 to left-handed batters. I mean, he's getting hit by both sides, but especially by lefties. Hamill is. This is a great spot for Carpenter and really all the Cardinals, like I said. So Carpenter, I think, continues his positive regression here. And another guy I think who does that is going to be Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna, he bounced back yesterday. He's only 2,500 on FanDuel, which is just a crazy price. Ozuna hasn't really been himself, obviously, since getting to St. Louis from Miami. But, he started the series against Kansas City yesterday with a nice game. He's in a good spot again tonight. Career 260 at ISO versus righties. Last year, 260 at ISO versus righties. He's down to 0.73 ISO this year versus righties, and a BABIP down 80 points as well. So you know that there's some positive regression coming for Ozuna. The numbers for this year are even below his career numbers. I mean, he's having a career low year, and that's not going to keep going on. They're continuing to bat him in the cleanup. They obviously believe in him. He has a great matchup to get that positive regression going. So, Jason Hamill, a great matchup. Ozuna comes in at a pretty much unbeatable price. So it'll be interesting to see where the ownership goes with these St. Louis outfielders, especially on DraftKings, where you've got Tyler O'Neill sitting down here at 2.5 as well, and you've also got Dexter Fowler, who I believe is 2.8. So, and again, he's the lefty facing Hamill. So, really a lot of options here in the outfield. It's even valid to play all 3 of them if you want to end up with 4 St. Louis bats in your lineup. The last guy we're going to lock in on FanDuel, though, is going to be Travis Shaw, sitting here at 3,500. Just a crazy price for him, to be honest. I mean, you look at this board of third baseman. He's not even in the first page of them. Quite a crazy price for Travis Shaw, if we're being honest here. Again, facing Matt Koch, just like Ji-Man Choi. Really, Koch just absolutely exposed in his last game, and that game came against the Brewers. He's given up 19 runs in 21 starts, I believe. And, that might not be... we'll get to another pitcher who's given up that many runs later. But Koch, I mean, he's been exposed last game, giving up 4 home runs and 8 runs in 4.1 innings last game against these Brewers. You've got Shaw, who just mashes righties, 433 xWOB and a 328 ISO versus righties this season, and a 43 hard contact rate versus righties. I mean, this is a guy who probably the best Brewer against righties. Lorenzo Cain's also a great option here. Really, all of these Brewers are in play against Matt Koch, who's pretty bad versus both hands. He's even worse versus righties. So, I mean, absolutely, Lorenzo Cain here is going to be in play. Christian Yelich is going to be in play here. I mean, these guys are both priced down. You're looking at Cain at $3,300 on FanDuel. I mean, that price is just berserk, if we're being honest, for what he's facing today. So, I mean, those two teams are very good teams to target, and that's where all of our locks come from on FanDuel. Now let's bounce up to DraftKings. DraftKings, we already got Richard and Ji-Man Choi, and I already explained Richard. So let's jump into our biggest lock of the day, really. And really, if you can fit him in on if you're gonna fade Sale and play an expensive outfield or an expensive player on FanDuel, it should be Stanton. But over here, we can fit him in even with Richards because we have 2 pitcher spot, or even with Sale if we want to play him in, which is the most likely way we're going to go, is Sale here. So you've got Sale, and Stanton's going to be the bat to go with here against Cole Hamels in Texas. You know, he's probably the best bat considering the matchup on this slate. Stanton absolutely mashes lefties. 570 xWOBA versus left-handed pitchers. 578 isolated power. 67% hard contact rate. I mean, this is just nuts. You know, we saw him struggle against a righty last night. And especially on the strikeouts, he strikeouts, I think, about twice as much against righties. But Yankees 5-4 team total against Cole Hamels is the highest on the slate as of now. Hamels giving up 44% hard contact this season, and it's higher against righties. Home run per 9 to right-handed batters is up over 1.5. And really all the Yankees righties here, which is most of their lineup, are in play. I even include Gleyber Torres in that, who is at second base here, and he's up 4-1 even in the 9-hole, assuming he's back there today. And another lock we're locking over here, and you can play him at either position. But we've got Matt Carpenter. I'm going to plug him in for now at second base because our next lock of the day is a third baseman. Now, we talked about Travis Shaw on FanDuel. He's a little bit priced up here on DK. You see him here as the 4th third baseman. So we decided to go down here at third base, and you've got 2 options here that are both in very good spots. Chacin, awful versus righties. Chacin, awful versus lefties. Really strong splits. But we decided to go, I even like Eduardo Escobar right here, and you can plug him in as shortstop as well. But we decided to go with Anthony Rendon, and there's a few reasons. Really, the Nationals are probably going to go a little under-owned on this slate. Love Trey Turner as well. I really do think that they are not going to get as much attention as they deserve. Their team total has been rising like crazy all day, and they're all at prices where they're easily stackable. I mean, you see Rendon here at 3.9. I mean, that is quite the price for Rendon. Over the last year, Rendon hitting 422 WOBA and 291 ISO versus lefties. I mean, those numbers are down in this season, but, you know, coming off injury, still hasn't gotten all the way back into his groove yet, but I think this is a good spot for him to do that against Eric Lauer. But Rendon batted ball speed up over the past 2 weeks, hard hit rate up over 40% over the last 2 weeks. I mean, he's obviously getting back into the groove, seeing the ball well. He's still priced down. This is a good spot for him to really boost his price, boost his stats. Lauer 462 WOBA versus righties, including a 522 xFIP there, 51% hard hit rate to righties. I mean, this is the guy, again, who's given up 19 runs in 21 innings on the mound this year. This dude is really bad, a rookie here in Lauer. So Rendon, I mean, Trey Turner's in play. I'm not probably going to go Harper, but, I mean, he's a great play in tournaments, I think, because of that ownership. Turner's going to be a little bit hard to afford, but he's a little cheaper on FanDuel. But anyway, that's going to about wrap it up for us today. A few of the favorite teams: Washington, St. Louis, Milwaukee, New York's in a good spot as well. All of their righties are in play. A lot of their lower bottom half bats on FanDuel are priced lower, so it's just a place you might want to look. But those are kind of our favorite teams. All of our locks came from our favorite teams. So anyway, if you want more like this, we've got cheat sheets on locksdfs.com, and obviously you can check us out on Twitter, locksdfs on Twitter. That's at locksdfs. I'm Christian. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys then.